CP the Franchise here, Alex Rotaros, Corey Tulaba of the No Ceilings Podcast. Hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button for you boys, and salute to everybody in the chat. How about the return of Chet Holmgren, man? Chet is back after trying to take on LeBron in the crossover summer league and losing that matchup with a Lisfranc injury, man, derailing his rookie campaign. Chet came back. He started in Salt Lake City and then gave him a couple of games in Vegas, man. Shot blocking extraordinaire. I forgot how many blocks he finished with in total at Summer League, but certainly defensively he looked okay. Seemed to be moving pretty well. Dropped 25 points against the Pacers. What you think about Chet in his Summer League stint?
I'm happy he's back, man. I think he's a real possibility to win Rookie of the Year this year, because I think that Oklahoma City team is going to be real good. I think they're going to be a playoff team this year. I mean, look, he's one of these unicorn guys, man. Like, you see it on both ends. Like, he didn't shoot the three ball well in the summer league, but like in college, he was 40% from three, right? Like, you could see that he's going to shoot it in the league. You could see what he does off the bounce. You know, there was that highlight. He hit that snatch back and the spin, right, with the finish. Like, he's dunking on dudes. You could see that he's he's noticeably like stronger physically. You know, like, I think that year off was good for him. He still doesn't look, you know, like Cam Whitmore might physically, but he's noticeably thicker, and that's huge for him because he's always been, regardless of his size, a really physical player. That's kind of the sell with him defensively. Like, you can go at him, he's not backing down. You know, in the tournament game against Jalen Duren was trying to post him up and he could not move him. So like, this is a dude who competes. He's a bad mother effer. Like, he's one of these dudes that is like, he will go at you, and if you go at him, he's ready for it. And it was just good to see him, man, because he's going to offer something that OKC didn't have last year, and that was a team that was a lot of fun, because now they have some real legit size to have a legit rim protector. Like, that's something that they were so good without that, and he fits so perfectly into their offensive system, which, you look at every guy that they've drafted, can rebound, can defend, can shoot, can pass. They just versatile guys who could do a little bit of everything and make smart, quick decisions. So he's just putting them in that OKC team, man. He is going to be a ton of fun. And I think, you know, if I was a betting man, and I am, I think maybe the money for Rookie of the Year might go to Chet for me.
Where do you see him, like, so like for that team, do you see them taking another step forward? Because this was a play-in team we're talking about last season. Do you think that his talent, based on what you've seen in the summer league, they'll push him even further in another direction, in a good direction, I should say?
100%. Like, I would have taken him one still. I'd still have taken one even after seeing the rookie year that Paolo Banchero had. Because I just think he does too many things well, and he does too many important NBA things well. And the fact that he does have SGA, who is a legitimate 30-point scorer in this league, the fact that he does have all of these other veteran guys now, that have been in the league and know how to win a little bit and have seen a little bit of success, have tasted it. You're adding a guy who was the second overall pick, who is not your normal rookie, right? Like, you look at guys like Blake Griffin and Ben Simmons, who sat out that year, getting to watch, getting to learn how to be a pro. And then they come in, and there's less of a learning curve for those guys who sat out that year. When they come in, they're a little bit more ready to go. So I think that they are going to take a step. Like, I think they're just going to be legit good. Like, I think they're going to be a legit playoff team, no play-in scenario, if everything, you know, goes right health-wise for that team, because they just have so many pieces with a great coach and a great style of play and a legit superstar who I don't even think is done getting better necessarily. You know, like, I don't think SGA even peaked. So he goes up a level. The rest of those guys have another year of development, and you add a defensive presence like Chet, who to me is the best defensive prospect that we've had come into the league, and I don't even know how long. Yeah, I think that they're ready to take another step.
That's gonna be a fun team, considering also not only with SGA and Chet. You think about Josh Giddey, you got Lou Dort, who's a solid defender. You got you got the Williams, Jalen.
J Dub and J Will.
Yeah, J Dub. You got Bo Jalen's out there. That's gonna be a good team. That's gonna be a good young team to watch.
And I think, you know, even though his offense has not really right. You haven't because he obviously hasn't had his full rookie year. Like you haven't seen his full offense at the NBA level. I think defensively is where he can really make his presence felt for them. Even though they finished middle of the pack last year in the league, which is good for their standards. They were 22nd in blocks. I think like 23rd in block percentage, 17th in the league in opponents' points in the paint. If he can translate what he's doing here in Summer League early and bring that to what they need him for, blocking shots, altering shots at the rim, you're going to get more than enough offense from SGA. You got Giddey who can get you a triple-double. You still got Trey Mann coming off the bench. You got Jalen Williams, who the big man Jalen Williams shot 40% from three. You got the wing Jalen Williams, who the Knicks should have picked up, who's looks like he got brolic this offseason, and he looks like he's ready to take a step in his second year. This team is going to be a problem, man. They got a lot of potential. And for Chet, you could wait for his offense to come around as long as defensively he's that anchor that they need him to be. They got some good talent there, man. They got some real good talent there.
Be a legit fifth option on that team.
Yeah. And the interesting thing about them is that, we talked about the Rockets really needing to fortify their youngsters with vets. You could consider SGA a vet at this point. I mean, he's been in the league a minute now, but they really haven't. What I'm saying is they don't have like a Dylan Brooks or any of those vets that are kind of blocking these youngsters from playing. Giddey, he's in there. He's locked in there. Jalen Williams, locked in there. He's a starter. Big man Jalen Williams, he's going to be getting his minutes. Like, you don't really have any vets blocking these guys in OKC, and they almost made the playoffs last year. So give credit to Presti and those guys, man, because I remember last year at Summer League when I was talking to, I forgot who I was talking to, one of former NBA player with NBA Radio, and we were talking about OKC, and he was like, yeah, they got talent. We were watching Chet. In the Summer League debut, and he was just like, yeah, they got some youngsters, but when is Presti going to have them in position to win? And you look at where they finished last year, they almost got there, man. So they're on their way. They are on their way, man.
We didn't even mention top 10 pick Cason Wallace from this year.
Right. They got a stout defender there.
Ousmane Dieng, who was one of the best players, in my opinion, out in Summer League this year, who I think he's a legit 6'10", 6'11", dribble pass shoot guy. Like, this team just loaded with talent and length and feel and IQ and versatility everywhere on the floor. And then they do have all of those picks. They got all of this talent that maybe won't even play that much. So when you talk about a superstar trade, become available, when the right guy comes available, they're a team that they're just waiting to strike. And they're going to have probably assets left over after that, to be honest. You know what I mean? To even maybe make a follow-up move on top of it. But their core guys that they have, SGA, J-Dub, and Chet, I mean, that's a tough core when it comes to young guys, because one of them's already a superstar.